Moça,
Ô moça,
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 pode conversar com a gente?
quem é você?
Você pode conversar com a gente?
Isso aí não é coisa boa.
Moça.
Why so serious?
Terrifying Mental Disorders Part 2.
Wendigo psychosis. It's an intense craving to eat human flesh, even while other food sources are nearby. One of the most well-known stories of this psychosis was in the late 1800s, when after the death of his eldest son, a man killed and ate the rest of his family.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer too.
What's the spookiest diorama that you've ever seen at the museum? For many visitors, it's this one, the Squid and the Whale diorama. Unlike most dioramas in the museum's halls, this scene has never been witnessed. It depicts the life and death battle between a giant squid and one of its only known predators, the sperm whale. Giant squid had never been seen in their natural habitat until 2005, when researchers got footage of an adult squid in the wild. Giant squid grow as long as 60 feet and they have the largest eyes in the animal kingdom. Their eyes are even often referred to as dinner plates. Sperm whales are the largest toothed predators on Earth and one of the few animals that could make prey out of an adult giant squid. They've been known to dive over 6,500 feet, equivalent of 4.5 Empire State Buildings one on top of another, and remain underwater for more than an hour in pursuit of giant squid. How do we know an encounter such as this happens in real life if humans have never seen one? Sperm whales often bear scars that match the suckers on a giant squid's tentacles. Also, the indigestible beaks and other body parts of the giant squid often turn up in the stomachs of sperm whales. Visitors often ask why this diorama is so dark and why, unlike all other dioramas, there is no glass on the front. The darkness is deliberate to approximate the pitch-black conditions of the deep ocean where no sunlight penetrates. When the Hall of Ocean Life was renovated in 2003, the glass was removed because reflections created a mirror effect against the dark interior, leading visitors to think the diorama was empty.
Imagine trick-or-treating here.
Horrible Ways to Die in 40K, Part 4. And this one's gonna sound pretty weird. It's actually by managing to beat this creepy dude in combat. His name is Lucius the Eternal. He is the ultimate narcissist, but he's also probably the greatest sword fighter the galaxy's ever seen, and he never loses. But that doesn't mean he's never been killed. You see, Lucius had a terrible curse placed on him by Slanesh, the chaos god of excess that him and his legion worship. That is that if anyone manages to beat him, they take any kind of pride in the accomplishment, then Lucius can possess them. That process is slow, painful, and will make you lose your mind. At first you start to hear his voice in your head, constantly whispering and taunting you. Then his signature scars start to appear on your face. Your hair starts to fall out, your body starts to twist and contort into his shape. Not even mechanical creatures like the Necrons are safe from this. It always ends the same. Lucius fully takes over your body. Your soul becomes trapped in his armor. And your face gets added to his collection, as these are all other people that had the audacity to beat him in combat.
Up thing you have seen. When I was about 9, my friend Jason called to say he was coming over. This was the 80s, so no cell phones. So, after he was taking way too long to get there, I called. His grandma said he just left a little bit ago. So, I waited, he still didn't show. We lived in a dangerous part of town in Section 8, and so I started to get nervous again. He was only a block away, why would it take so long? I called Gram again, and she was like, well, maybe he saw a friend on the way, check outside. So, I did. I went outside and his dead body was by the entrance to my building. His coat and shoes were gone. It seemed someone murdered a little boy for his fucking stuff. I had the pleasure of discovering him and testifying at the guy's grand jury later. When I was in high school, the drama teacher was walking around on the catwalk high above the auditorium and she got her hair stuck in an exhaust fan. At that time her hair was almost to her knees. Her scalp was ripped off and I saw her in the hallway with towels and blood everywhere. She was in shock and shivering on the ground. The school went into lockdown and we were escorted to a different area so we didn't have to see the aftermath. Unfortunately, I saw it before that happened. She was in the hospital for nearly a year recovering.
Terrifying Mental Disorders Part 1. Capgras Syndrome. Mary was age 40 at the time when she was referred for a psychiatric evaluation out of concern that a mental health diagnosis was interfering with her ability to appropriately and safely care for her child. Mary stated on numerous occasions that her 9-year-old daughter, Sarah, had been placed in the custody of Child Protective Services and replaced by an imposter. Mary also reported that she had given birth to twins, but that the hospital record only documented the birth of Sarah. On occasion, she would show up to her daughter's school, refusing to pick her up, screaming, "Give me my real daughter, I know what you've done." This was a case of Capgras syndrome. This syndrome is characterized by the belief that a familiar person has been replaced by a visually similar imposter.
What'd you think about us? It feels like a summer breeze.
Your mind. If you remember your dream when you wake up, then it wasn't a dream, it was a message.